going back to where we are right now, Professor, are there any tipping points, climate tipping points that you're actually worried about, let's say today, that you're monitoring?
Yeah. I mean, there are there are tipping points that we hear about that I'm less concerned about. I don't think the science supports, for example, this idea that the Arctic permafrost is going to burp huge amounts of methane. We don't see that, and the models don't predict that. But the models have underestimated some of the potential tipping points. The collapse of the ice sheets, we're seeing that earlier than we expected. We're seeing them contribute to sea level rise earlier than we expected. The collapse of the so-called ocean conveyor belt circulation,
Right, right.
popularized in another movie, The Day After Tomorrow, which was a caricature of what the science actually says. But that's a tipping point that would have huge implications if that ocean circulation pattern were to collapse. Wouldn't lead to another ice age. It wouldn't lead to most of the things depicted in that film, but it would actually cause more sea level rise along the east coast of the US for reasons I won't go into that are pretty complicated. It would actually lead to a tremendous decrease in marine productivity in the North Atlantic Ocean, which is the greatest source of, greatest natural fishery in the world. And 25% of our population rely on seafood for their primary source of protein. So it would have dire consequences. And those tipping points, here's the thing, we don't know where they lie, right? We don't know how close we are to them. So that's an important asterisk here, that, the more we warm the planet, the more likely it is that we cross some of these tipping points. I liken them to mines in a minefield. We don't know exactly where they are. What we do know is you don't want to be walking out onto that minefield, because you're gonna trip those mines. And that's what we're doing. We're walking out onto a minefield. And so the only sensible thing is to stop that forward lurch onto the minefield. And that means decarbonizing as quickly as we can. Fortunately, there's some good news, as we said earlier, that, that the planet responds almost immediately to those efforts. And so it's just about the obstacles at this point are political.